We keep our eyes on the clock in the morning. It's exactly 8 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. We do apologize for the interrupted and abrupt nature for our programming this morning, but we do apologize. There was emergencies way beyond our control. And we do apologize for the absence of Gordon, but I'm Joseph Cadore. I say good morning to you and welcome to Classic in the Morning Time. The time is fast spent. We get straight into it as we provide you the morning edition of the morning news. Getting into the headlines, 27 families in Carriacou to receive new houses from volunteers of a non-profit organization from Trinidad and Tobago in the region. Guyana braces for above normal temperatures as heat wave exceeds. On the international front, the Supreme Court blocks Biden's latest try at a student brief debt relief. While in sports, well, it's a busy day today. The CPL kicks off, and there's so much more that's happening around the globe. And these are the headlines, and the details to come. Minister for Health, Philip Telesford, announced that his ministry is closely monitoring the spread of the B1 Mpox, a new strain of monkeypox, a disease recently declared a public health emergency of international concern. The World Health Organization issued the alert on August 14th, 2024, acknowledging the potential global threat posed by the disease. Although no cases have been reported in Grenada or the wider Caribbean, Minister Telesford emphasized that his ministry is taking proactive measures to prepare for any potential risks.
Currently, Mr. Speaker, there are no cases of Clade 1B Mpox in Grenada or in the Caribbean. None has been reported in the USA, UK, Canada, and Latin America at the time as per my last update or my last briefing. There is also a limited number of travelers coming from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the virus originates from, and therefore the risk is said to be reasonably low. So the Grenada Ministry of Health shall immediately step up surveillance and begin border security at our sea and airports should the disease be discovered in North America and England.
Well, Mpox is an infectious disease, but it is not airborne. Telesford explained symptoms of the disease include a painful rash, swollen lymph nodes, fever, headaches, muscle aches, backaches, and fatigue.
This version of Mpox, known as Mpox Clade 1B, is more transmissible and can cause more severe illness than Clade 2, which we saw in 2022. I'm saying this, Mr. Speaker, that we take cognizance of what is outside there. I want the population to understand, Mr. Speaker, that Mpox is spread through personal contact, and it is not an airborne disease. So it can easily be spread from the transfer or contamination via body fluids.
Continuing with the news, Hands That Serve will be constructing prefabricated houses for 27 families in Carriacou. The fully furnished three-bedroom homes will include bathroom facilities and supplies, as well as beds and stove. Members of the organization paid a preliminary visit to Carriacou, where they looked at various sites as possible locations for the homes. Almost 90% of the housing stock in Carriacou and Petite Martinique were destroyed during the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government, Tevin Andrews, Acting Prime Minister, Minister for Mobilization, Implementation and Transportation, Andy Williams, and a minister responsible for housing, Senator Gloria Thomas, were part of the site tour by Hands That Serve. Minister Thomas expressed appreciation for the assistance as the government continues to work with local, regional, and international organizations to rebuild the Twin Island constituency of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. This other story to tell you about: Cradle to Cane, a non-profit organization dedicated to assisting those in need across Grenada, is set to host a unique community outreach in the form of a cultural fashion show. This event will showcase traditional attire from various countries worldwide, offering attendees a glimpse into the diverse cultural heritage of different regions. Rude Bailey, secretary of Cradle to Cane, said the fashion show takes place on Saturday at Westerhall Secondary School.
And one of our upcoming community development is a fashion show, which will be held at Westerhall Secondary School on the 31st of August. That's this coming Saturday at 2 p.m. Fashion show depicting different culture, dress codes of different cultures. So you have the Japanese, you have the Chinese, you have the African wear, those types of cultural wears. Okay, so we have at least 3 each for different cultures. So we have the Chinese, like I stated, Japanese, and the African folklore, just to name a few.
Well, continuing with the story, the Hydrometeorological Services under the Ministry of Agriculture has issued a warning of above normal temperature across Guyana from September through November 2004. We get more in this OCM regional news provided as part of the morning's regional update.
And one of our upcoming community
Here is your OCM regional news. I am Kevin Garcia. Good afternoon. The Hydrometeorological Service today warns that Guyana would experience above normal temperatures from September until November this year. The HS says.
The morning edition. Good morning. I'm Dennis Chabrol.
And I'm Kendall Morgan with the latest from across the Caribbean.
3 members of Haiti's Presidential Transitional Council suspected in an ongoing corruption probe turned themselves in for a questioning earlier this week. The move, made after CARICOM issued a critical statement about Haiti's National Credit Bank, came as a surprise since investigators had not issued a public summons for the trio to appear. They're Emmanuel Vichelier, Smith Agassi, and Louis Gerald Gis. No details have been provided about the questioning by the anti-corruption body. The Haitian Times reports that the now former chairman of the National Credit Bank, Raoul Pascal Pierre-Louis, accused them of extortion. Pierre-Louis said they allegedly demanded a bribe of nearly $760,000 so he could stay in his National Bank of Credit position. Instead, Pierre-Louis said he informed the Prime Minister Gary Conille of the alleged crime on July 24.
Leaders of the Spiritual Baptist religion in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have welcomed Parliament's approval of May 21st as a public holiday in their honor. Archbishop Pompey, who leads the largest spiritual Baptist group in the country, has praised the bipartisan support for Tuesday's passage of the legislation in Parliament.
I want to say to you that we are grateful that you held or you continue to hold the spiritual Baptists in so much ISP. I can assure you that we will not allow this to just go like that. I am hoping that I'll be able to make an announcement that all our spiritual Baptist churches will this Sunday in their service start by asking God's guidance upon all that we do as we move forward to May 21st, 2025.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines joins Trinidad and Tobago, which celebrates a Spiritual Baptist Shout Liberation public holiday on March 30th. The Spiritual Baptists, also called Shakers or Shouters, were outlawed by the colonial authorities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 1912. That ban was repealed in 1965 by the then Chief Minister Ebenezer Joshua. The Spiritual Baptists recognize May 21st as their day of liberation, as it is the last known date for the prosecution in the law courts. Opposition parliamentarian Israel Bruce, a practicing Spiritual Baptist, brought some of the group's flair to his contribution to the parliamentary debate.
Today, I am about to participate in the most significant bill that I will debate in this honorable house. I ask my brother to show me the walk, show me the children walk. I ask my sister to show me the walk, show me the children walk.
Guyana is taking steps to ensure that people who have missed a small number of Social Security contributions can still get a pension. The Social Security system, also known as the National Insurance Scheme, continues to inform people that they are not eligible for pensions because records show that they do not have the required number of contributions. In some instances, this is due to the fact that their former employers did not pay their Social Security contributions to the National Insurance Scheme. President Irfan Ali yesterday announced that the government is taking steps to bring relief to affected persons.
I asked the Minister of Finance because I know this is a big issue that we're facing, the NIS issue. We came up with one innovative solution because some people did not make the contribution by 10 contribution, by 50 contribution, by 70 contribution. So we should do a cutoff point. I asked him to examine this, to do a cutoff point from 650 to 750, and to see whether we can calculate a reduced pension or for those persons who are that contribution away, so that no person will be left without benefit. That is what your government does every day.
The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, says 21 Oropouche virus disease cases among U.S. travelers returning from Cuba have been reported as of August 16th. The Oropouche virus is spread primarily through the bite of an insect known as a midge. Symptoms of the disease include headache, fever, muscle aches, and joint pains. Overall, 3 patients were hospitalized, but no deaths were reported. Earlier this month, the CDC issued a health alert to notify clinicians and public health authorities of an increase in the disease in the Americas region that has caused 2 deaths so far this year. Currently, there are no specific treatments or vaccines available for the disease.
This has been the Morning Edition from the Caribbean News Desk.
And that was your OCM Regional News. It's 5 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time, but those of you that's locked in, we do apologize for what is a varied edition of the news. We continue to go along with it, though, as we join Andre Charles. Before we get into the internationals, we join Andre Charles for today's weather report. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning to you and to listeners of General Public. And here's the weather for today, Thursday, the 29th August, 2024. Currently at Point Saline, the weather is fair. Winds are from the east-southeast at 13 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 14.4 millibars. That's above normal and rising. Present temperature, 28.6 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity, 80%. Yesterday's maximum temperature, 31.9 degrees Celsius. Last night's minimum, 27.4 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, no rainfall was recorded. Hence, the total for the month remains at 153 millimeters. Now let's have a look at the forecast value for today and tonight. Today is expected to be partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with brief isolated showers and a low chance of isolated thunderstorm. Maximum temperature, 31 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sea slight to moderate. Waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. Tides are currently low, high at 1:30 p.m. and low at 6 p.m. Sunset today at 6:19, rises tomorrow at 5:56. Just a repeat of the forecast, value for today and tonight. Partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times, with brief isolated showers and a low chance of isolated thunderstorm. Maximum temperature 32 degrees Celsius. I'm Andre Charles, reporting from Met Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre Charles, and thanks to the rest of the team at the Met Office. Continuing with the news as we move into the internationals. The Supreme Court has kept a block in President Joe Biden's student loan relief program that would extend payment period and effectively forgive outstanding debt or of $12,000 or less. It was another blow to Mr. Biden's goal of providing sweeping relief to millions of Americans before the Supreme Court struck down his attempt to cancel as much as $400 billion in student loans last year. Earlier this year, Republicans-led states sued to stop the latest program known as SAVE, saying Mr. Biden had overstepped his authority. The lower court put SAVE on pause while the lawsuit works their way through the court, and in an emergency ruling, the Supreme Court backed one of those injunctions. And this other story to tell you, a former Nevada politician was found guilty on Wednesday for the murder of an investigative journalist who wrote critical stories about his time in office. Robert Tellis, 47, has been in jail since 2022 for the stabbing of Las Vegas Review Journal Jeff German. At trial, prosecutors presented the jury with DNA evidence that found that Mr. German's fingernails that they said belonged to Tellis, who had pleaded not guilty. A jury of 12 returned a guilty verdict yesterday after deliberating for 2 days. Well, moving on to what's happening in the UK. The government desires to reset relations with its European counterpart as the European Union, and that does not reserving Brexit, as according to Sir Keir Starmer, as the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said that he wanted a closer relationship with Europe, but the UK had no plans for a youth mobility scheme which give young people in the EU the rights to live and work in the UK and vice versa. Sir Starmer was speaking at a joint press conference with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Berlin after the pair began talks on a new cooperation agreement between the two nations. The Prime Minister said the agreement aimed to boost trade, create jobs, and deliver economic growth in both countries. The latest on the international front, the sports is next. Well, good morning, sporting fans. Well, we started for the news that West Indies fast bowler Shannon Gabriel has retired from international cricket, ending a career that began in 2012. The 36-year-old played 59 tests, which include 59 tests, 25 ODIs, and 2 T20s, picking up a total of 202 wickets. Well, during the past 12 years, Gabriel said on Instagram, I've dedicated myself to playing international cricket for the West Indies. Playing this beloved game at the highest level has brought me immense joy. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. And today I am announcing my retirement from the international sport. Well, what else is making news today? Well, the Republic Bank CPL kicks balls off this evening and on the GBN at 7. Well, we can tell you that there's 3 Grenadians in action this evening. Well, the game's on the cards. It's the Falcons that boast the likes of Ryan John. They actually, with Teddy Bishop, they're going to come up against the Patriots, which boast the likes of Ryan John and the Spice Man himself. Also happening today is the finals of the WCPL, and certainly that's between Barbados and Trinidad. We also remind you in the news that we started in Lima, Peru, that the under-20 youth athletics championships it is on. But yesterday, Joshua Sylvester, he failed to qualify for the semi-finals of the 400 meters. But certainly the rest of the team, they go into action from Friday with the relays. And also, kicking off in Paris yesterday was the Paralympic Games. And certainly we want to say we'll keep you in the know as we continue to monitor all these different sports and activities across the globe. It is 12 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. Now for a recap of the news. Starting in Carriacou, where 27 families will receive new houses from volunteers of a non-profit organization from Trinidad and Tobago. In the region, Guyana braces for above normal temperatures as heat wave continues. On the international front, the Supreme Court has blocked President Joe Biden's latest try at student death relief. While in sports, Shannon Gabriel retires from international cricket, while the Republic Bank CPL bowls off this evening with the Patriots playing the Falcons. Well, on behalf of the entire news team and Joseph Cadore, saying thanks for being part of the broadcast.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Concord Distributors and Grenada Steelworks regret to advise the passing of Dr. Amina Ghafor, one of the founding directors of Gafson's group of companies, wife of Executive Chairman Abdul Satur Ghafor, and mother of our Managing Director Omar Ghafor. Dr. Amina Ghafor was a well-respected author, publisher, teacher, and philanthropist, recognized in her home country Guyana and far afield for her writings and research into indentureship and the Indian diaspora around the world. Her funeral takes place on Thursday, August 29th, and as a mark of respect, operations in Barbados, Grenada, and St. Lucia shall be closed on that day. May Allah grant her eternal peace and rest.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
As the rigid tongue flattened start to jump around, well, this is Shake One, and I'm inviting everyone to the GBN Back to School Extravaganza, and I'm also the brand ambassador for Rush Distributors, and we will be there with specials on Tampico, Cran, and other juices. Starts from 10 a.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Make sure you be there.
This is Recall Julian from Superb Distributors, and guess what? We are going to be at the Grenada Trade Center Annex this Friday for the Back to School sale with GBN. So please come on down and check us out. We have some special deals on Capricin, your favorite drink, Rika juices, New Bright buckets, and so much more. So come on down and enjoy the sale with us. Superb Distributors, you don't want to miss it.
I know to you, the morning listeners, I've just jolted your spirit because you think this is not Gordon in the morning time. Well, it isn't. It's your boy JC filling in for a minute. Again, we do want to apologize for the punctuated version of our news this morning. But this, in fact, was due to circumstances way beyond our control. But a wonderful and gracious good morning to you. I'm happy that you're up here about. I want to say good morning to those of you that's in social media, our Facebook page, YouTube channel. It's indeed a pleasure being with you on a glorious Wednesday morning. It's the 29th day of the month of August. And we say thanks for being part of the Classic family. We are going to open the lines in just a bit. As for the, I want to say, especially one of those of you that's on the way to the JOB, 8 o'clock workers, you should, I'm expected reasonably that you've already left the house. As reminding you, as I always do, that if you're going for 8 o'clock, you can't leave home at 8 o'clock. You have to leave before to give yourself time, especially if you have a far distance to travel. But it's a good morning to you. We're on the cusp of the return of school. Yes, today Friday. Yeah, today's Wednesday, and school Thursday, that is, and school reopens next week in the greater part. And certainly, it's really good to know what is it your parents are up to as part of that conversation. Well, as part of that conversation, the GBN will be hosting a back-to-school extravaganza on Friday, as tomorrow. And the extravaganza seeks to provide you a one-stop shopping experience as you get your final bits and pieces, nicks and knacks, pencils and envelopes as you head back to school. Yes, so that's going to be happening. We're chit-chatting about that. But we certainly we like to open the lines. There is we were reading the same this morning, but the fact that 27 families, they would be really assisted greatly by some prefabricated houses from a non-profitable company, agency from Trinidad and Tobago. And that's the sort of news that you hear that lifts your spirit. In more recent time, we've had to deal with, and certainly for various reasons, the walkout of the Parliament by the opposition and opposition leader and his members, as Dr. Keith Mitchell, and his members, and some individuals, they have varied thoughts on it. They do have varied thoughts on it. But outside of that, you will probably have... there is a press conference today. Additionally, there's a press conference today that would seek to address the concerns as it relates to, specifically so, though, Carrier Coup as it relates to the return and reopening of school. The minister did confirm yesterday that there's a press conference today that would address those concerns. So, and I know you do have concerns, especially if you are on the sister isle. Yes, and even those of us in the mainland, because part of the conversation had given consideration to the fact maybe, especially those that was in preparing for, that's on the sister isle, that was preparing for exams, C-second, so that maybe you may have them come into the mainland, stay with different families. But that conversation is going to come up today, and certainly we can well appreciate that the minister is going to give some consideration to it. But I want to give you the opportunity in the meantime to share your views, share your concerns. Call 440-435, that is 2041, as you do have an open line session this morning. So feel free to give a call. I remind you again, once you up to call, that you should turn down the devices, whatever device you are calling for that you have in the background. Yeah, whether it's been a radio or some other digital device that is being played. You have to do that because it compromises the quality of the delivery. We're keeping our eyes on the clock, though, and we must get it. It's 24 minutes gone past the hour as we go to the telephone lines. Good morning, caller. Welcome. You're live.
Good morning, JC. Good morning, JC. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
All right, brother. And today is Thursday, not Wednesday.
Yes, I did correct. Thanks for the observation. It is Wednesday, yes.
Yeah, I just want to report there is an accident waiting to happen on the way down from going down Cherry, going west, just opposite the depot. There is a building there that the foundation has been undermined. The retaining wall is in the has been toppled over and they move it out. But that building is tilt. Mm-hmm. And if that building come down with a vehicle close or anybody around that area, we're going to have. Well, we don't know how much people how much people might be in the vehicle and what's going to happen. So I'm calling on the relevant authorities who is responsible for infrastructure or whatever you want it, whether it's the police, whether it's the Ministry of Works. Please go and look at that building and make the necessary arrangements to get it pulled down.
And before you run, can you just again remind us specifically where that concern is? Exactly
that's where? That's going down Cherry Hill, opposite the Depot supermarket.
Okay.
It's in your face if you're going west. As soon as you're coming down there, you see it in your face. You can see it tilt.
Right.
So it is in a position that any time, and with the rainy season, you never know what could happen. Somebody from the ministry, please go and look at it and make the necessary arrangements to actually take it down.
Thank you, sir. Really do appreciate that.
Okay, brother. No problem.
Have a blessed one. 25 minutes gone past in the morning time. And again, an appeal, and I'll show that we'll probably get our news crew and some other, if we can get appeal to persons from the ministry that can attend to that. Sometimes we have to take a proactive approach. You don't always have to be a case where something happens and then we decide to report it. But we certainly do hope that the necessary authorities, and I promise you here at the newsroom will get a team to attend to that concern as well. 26 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Cadore, and how are you doing today?
I am wonderful as always. And yourself?
Okay. Well, I'm trying to be wonderful.
Great.
I want to say something about this bright light in the night in people's face. Vehicles driving and they don't dimming nothing. Full blast, full beam, and how much beam. And added to that, the roads are very narrow. And added to that, people have the roads as a parking garages. So the roads, the vehicle line up on both sides, on one side, and then you don't have no space to go. I don't know when they're going to fix that, but it's becoming a hazard. It's dangerous. And I don't know what is going to happen. More and more vehicles coming in. You can see for yourself what is happening. All of you pass vehicle line up the road. Mm-hmm. And my husband coming to Boulder last night. A vehicle straight in his face with this bright light. He ended up in a drain. bounce a wall. Thank God he didn't bounce and kill himself and kill somebody.
Thank God for that.
Mash up his vehicle. Person just passed away straight with this full 4 beam in front of his face. You can't see nothing. I don't know what could happen about that. If they can adjust the lights, if something could be done. And secondly, I want to know who will be responsible when the people with the weed eater on the road, cut in the bush, hit your vehicle or break your glass or something. Who will be responsible for your vehicle, glass or your windshield or whatever it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, and I share those concerns with you, and it's not just for vehicles, for pedestrians, whoever it is, because these devices, when they're in motion, whatever they hit, they become missiles and projectiles, and easily. You've heard some really sad stories about incidents that has happened with these weed eaters and weed whackers as they are. So not just, I mean, and there are measures to be taken that persons should be quite cognizant of the fact that, listen. And just recently, I had to say to a gentleman, I said, sir, I'm trying to get to work. I said, the vehicle's parked on the next side of the road. And the issue of the way we use motorists, they would use, there's common road courtesy that drivers extend to one another. Yes, but somehow we seem to live in a society where we don't always seem to allow our better judgment to prevail. But let's make the appeal again, and let's all continue to do what we do and hope for some change in the immediate.
Yes, I think something has to be done about the public road as parking garages for people. And you can pass because all the road full up with vehicles line up. I don't know what is happening. And then this bright lights coming on you, and so something has to be done.
Thank you for the concern raised.
Oh, and have a good day. Thank you very much. I said to call very early and express what I experienced. Okay?
Well, thank you for doing that. Have a blessed day.
Very good program this morning.
Take care.
Thank you. Yeah.
435-2041. That's the number on the inside. It is 29 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. I am particularly, and I've raised a concern already, but let's just go to the telephone lines. Good morning, caller. You are live. Hello, caller. Good morning. You are live.
Hi. Good morning, Mr. Cadore, and how are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
I just want to say thanks to the people that assisting some of the kayak with the housing. It's so good, Mr. Cadore. I'm happy. Mr. Cadore, a young man from Carriacou, come down yesterday to donate some blood.
Yes.
And he collapsed in front of my business place. I was so happy to assist him, I saw the movement. I saw he was wet, and he stand up in front of the shop. He and a young lady, they was buying some water. And the lady, she asked for a glass. I give her the glass, she give him the water. And then I see he leave and he go and he sit down. And the way I look at him, she touch him. She say, you all right? He say, yes. I said, no, he do all right, And Mr. Cadore, that young man was coming down. Perhaps if I didn't dare to give him a little assistance, he might have mashed up his face. I hold him up and I lean him back. I call for help. Well, they bring the ambulance and they take him and they bring him down in casualty. He don't have a roof and his head in Carriacou because his house gone down. And that man still come down to donate because he says he's a donor. He does donate every 3 months. I felt so happy to know. I wish this man could have been in the lineup to get a little assistance with the house. And Mr. Cadore, when we see people doing all that for the people of this country, and we have others to go and sit down and discuss as a bill yesterday, where you could get a little more money to help the people that are suffering. And they act in that way, Mr. Cadore, is really, really heartbreaking to see when people sacrifice themselves to help this country and others just doing things for a show.
And that's the sort of selfless act that we need. And while there might be individuals who may probably think, they may marginalize his action. Listen, he could have always made an excuse, you know what? I've got my own troubles in my life. I'm on the back foot, as they say, catching my nene, and I'm not going to bother to go and do this.
And
but
Mr.
certainly,
Cadore, you know what filled me so much? The young man, after he get checked out down by the hospital, he come back in the shop and he say, Miss, I come to thank you. Mr. Cadore, like if I win the lotto, you won't believe me. And while I was talking to him, well, I don't know, something happened this week. And a nurse collapsed right in front of my place again Monday. And while I was talking to him, she passing and, you know, she come and she say, Miss Glenda, thank you for your assistance. And I say, you see that lady? She collapsed Monday going up to work or going down and what. And I saw her, the condition, she's sitting on the bench by me, and she was going down. Mr. Cadore, if I didn't hold her, she would have mashed up she face too.
Well,
I feel so good. And when I listen to others, the way they want to make a kind of puppy show, it just hurt my heart.
Well, the one thing I always say to people, and you have to always appreciate it, that's the challenge with life, but that's what makes it. We will always have varied responses to some of the same elements, but you keep doing what you do, and it only makes us realize that in the face of adversity, the face of challenges, that there is still some individuals, some of us out there that still have the humanity in us to say thanks or even to do what they have to do.
I feel so good last night. I sleep, I ain't get no pain, nothing.
Well,
that's the reason why I did something from my heart and not expecting nothing.
And that's what is needed.
Good morning to you, sweetheart. I hope you feel much better.
And you have yourself a wonderful day as well, my dear lady.
My brother.
You take care.
All right.
I can want you to KD on the inside. You're following us via our social media feed. Gratitude is a must. Indeed, it is a must. Zephyrin McLeod, the Nutmeg Queen, Yulin Alexander, just a sprinkle of some of the folks that is on social media, on Facebook specifically. Yes, we're going to try to see. We have a caller that's coming through via. Let's see if we can take this one. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're alive.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling on the lady that called about the bright lights when people are driving. The bright lights in other people's faces, right?
Yes.
It's a very, very dangerous, and it's well overdue that the government. I don't know if anything to do with Mr. McIntyre. He comes on your program from time to time, and every Monday actually, to talk about traffic. Now, it's a very, very dangerous thing. Now, listen, I come down there with my 15-year-old son, and he says that there's always a reason why things happen, especially in the island of Grenada. It's two things. There's not much light, street lights. People's eyes might be really tested because that's not a big thing on the island. So a lot of people, I bet if you test their eyes, they'll be unqualified for driving. Right? That's another thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, look, it's going to end up killing people one by one because it's too much. The bright light is too much, you know? So I'm just calling to support that lady because many of people have called about the bright lights in Grenada. You know, 98% as high as that. People at night driving with full beam on.
Right.
You can't do that.
Well, let's continue.
That shouldn't be allowed. So somebody needs to take and pay attention to that and get it sorted out. Thank you very much for.
Thank you for your call, sir.
Thank you.
And let's continue to raise the alarm on those issues.
Okay.
435-2041. We go to the telephone lines. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Good morning, Cadore.
Good morning.
Good morning to your listeners and viewers. I want to comment, and I don't know whether it is an individual or whether it was done by the government. There was a gentleman who patrols the tongue with a football in front of him. And you know what I'm talking about. He's known as culture. And there was a lot of calls for some assistance be given to him. And I saw him a couple of days ago. He is now resident at the Richmond home. And Mr. Cadore, you would not believe that is the same gentleman in terms of the change of appearance of that gentleman. And I want to commend whoever it is was responsible for so doing in terms of taking him into that institution to ensure that he has the proper care that he deserves. And I know Ms. Glenda has called, the previous lady who called earlier on, has advocated for something to be done. And I want to commend her for at least making the call on the radio and know that whether it's an individual or the government has done something about taking this man off the street. A lot more needs to be done in cleaning the street of some of those persons, but I am elated. I'm very happy to see that gentleman and see that he is.
Great.
Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you, sir. All the best to you. We're keeping our eyes on the clock, 8 o'clock, Wackers. It is 22 minutes on to the hour. If you get in there for 8 o'clock, well, you have just about 10 minutes or so to get there on time. And I always remind you that if you head into work for 8 o'clock, you can't arrive on the GOB for 8 o'clock. You have to be there prior, at least 5 or 10 minutes, so that it allows you to start extending whatever services you need to at the desired time. We go back to the telephone lines. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph. How are you?
Well, I am fine. I'd be a little better if you turn down the device that's in the background. It's creating feedback.
Thank God for another day.
Is it possible you can turn down the device in the background, please?
Hold on.
And again, it's just a gentle reminder that once you opt in to call the whatever device we carry, the conversation can be conducted via the telephone.
I'm calling from River Road. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Beg pardon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am. Loud and clear.
Yes, I'm calling from River Road. I have a problem here with a tree, very hazard over my house and my house and a neighbor house. I reported. They sent two men to see about it, and they never come back. And it's very dangerous over the house. And I would like whoever in authority could really come and help us, because if this tree falls on the house, we have nowhere to stay. And I don't want to end up like the guy that died with the tree up the road.
Where exactly in River Road are you, if you mind me asking?
Beg pardon, sir?
Where exactly in River Road?
This is in River Road, overlooking the lumber yard. Next, I am in boundary with Junior Murray.
Okay.
And I would like something to be done, because I'm an old person. I live with my son. He does not be home. Most time it's myself alone that is there. So I am looking for assistance. Okay,
great. Thank you.
Okay, have a blessed day.
And you stay blessed yourself. I will, I promise you.
Okay, thank you. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
435-2041, that's the number that is on the inside. 20 minutes on to the hour of 8 o'clock. And somebody's asking on social media, I would like to know when the government will clean up the drains of the Grenada stretch. I think that the individual businesses should be responsible for cleaning the individual section. This is a situation that's creating a health hazard. We go back to the telephone lines. Good morning, you're alive.
Good morning, Mr. Cadore. How is everything, sir?
I am fine, thank you.
Advising drivers at night time. If you driving and you got bright lights in your face at night time, in your eyes, just stop a vehicle and start driving. And just stop and going forward and getting in difficulty. Bright lights in your eyes and you can't see, just stop a vehicle. Stop in the road where you are, just stop. And let the vehicle pass and you fall off the road. But traveling with the bright lights and then there's a damage and then it's not a good idea.
Well, thank you, sir. And again, while I concur with the caller, but there's road courtesy, and you must have a full appreciation as to all drivers who don't understand the challenge of, one of the concerns goes to folks as adjusting the quality of the light. Listen, you're on the road in the night, there's nothing wrong, dim. Yeah, just after 6, just start to dim. Yeah, according to people, whether you're seeing or coming traffic or not, just start to dim and see, and you will be certain you realize how much it helps. We go back to the telephone lines. We due for a break, but we'll take this caller now. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Cadore. Greetings.
Good morning to you, sir.
I'd like to make 2 comments.
Go ahead.
I'd like to coincide with the person who raised the issue related to the use of the string trimmer, quote unquote, sometimes called brush cutter and weed eater. We suffer in this country here because all of our lackadaisical attitudes towards obeying standards. This machine spins in the propulsion system, spins strings for cutting. It also spins a blade because there's a replacement blade for it also, but it does cause things to spin, a system to spin, thus creating great conditions to transfer the machine from a simple cutter to a stone or rocket or object launcher. That is why stones, pebbles, and otherwise flash from them and they go and strike and damage people. Because of the design of the machine, underwriters laboratories and the International Standards Organization have demanded that these machines be used with a guard called a dangerous discharge protection system. In other words, one should not sell this machine without the guard over the propulsion system. I refer to the strings. It should not be sold without it. It should not be used without it. And because we remove the guard so that we can further extend the strings to get what they consider to be a faster cut, they endanger the lives and property of other people. It is the duty of the state to look this up. As a matter of fact, there are standards set for these things in other countries which I will not refer to. If you cut in using that machine in your property, on the edge of my property, and you throw anything into my place, you charge for it. OSHA standards, North American standards. This is a problem. It has been for a long time, and it's because of the state refusing to take its responsibilities to correct this problem, the people suffer. Finally, I wish we'd taken into consideration. Finally, I want to refer quickly, this one I'll go through a little faster, to the quote-unquote Maramuncia. This word is unknown to you. It's a different language. Malay, Tebe.
Okay.
That went on in the parliament of our country a couple days ago. Brothers and sisters, it's a shame to see what this country has become. Why it has become that way is very simple. Because nobody pays attention, nobody cares, and apart from that, the system that the colonial constitution has established for us gives everybody the right to do what they want, and because there's no form of holding them accountable, they do what they want. It's a disgrace to hear the language in the parliament of so-called parliament of our country. And when we look at what the quote-unquote fathers of the parliament of Grenada behaves, it tells us something. Now, these people were hired, brothers and sisters. We hired them to serve in the parliament of the country to attend to our affairs. In the exercise of their duties, they walk off the job. Normally, what would happen here, brothers and sisters, rhetorically? Well, I'll answer it for you. They'll be fired.
Okay.
This is why we need to reconstitute this country. We need to rewrite the rules of this country to hold these people that we hire and are being paid by the taxpayers' money. We have to do things so that set systems into place that whether it be by default, whether it's by omission or commission, of what they're expected to do for what they're getting paid for, they should lose their jobs.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, I ask you to reconsider once more the importance. It is known, as I end here, that the Constitution of Grenada has no legal authority, no validity, and these people know it. And that is why they don't want to change anything, or rather to say, they change everything that nothing changes. Say, check it out, brothers and sisters. We're taking the shitty end of the stick to having these people abuse us. They're usurpers, and they do it with all impunity because they know. I urge you, brothers and sisters, to seriously consider writing our own constitution through a constituent assembly.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
All the best to you. 14 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. Master Control. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we go to the last leg of the program, and then we'll join the BBC for a bulletin of news. Classic radio and GBN television in the morning time.
Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department or participating outlets for a chance to win free fuel, free drinks, free prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free Hub TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free Dutch Lady milk, free passes to Sunshine promotion events for 2024, free groceries, all for one whole year. And every winner receives a free lunch package. But that's not all. Drive away in style in a brand new Isuzu D-Max. It sits, it doesn't guzzle. So fill out your entries and place them into the marked entry boxes. This promotion is brought to you in part by Dutch Lady, Danny, Promo, Supreme Bleach, Creative Chef, Grenlac, Floor, Salt Petroleum, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Sunshine Promotion, Caribberies, Guap Bag, Sesame Spain, and Food Fear. Promotion runs from April 2nd to December 24. Terms and conditions apply.
As we get ready to give thanks, the long Thanksgiving weekend. Legends Promotions presents the 18th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, October 26th, Grenada Trade Center at 7:30 p.m. Featuring the 1980 Calypso Monarch, Survivor. Together with Stubbles. 10 times Calypso Monarch, Scholar. Alongside Luther, Tobago Kuso, and 7 times Soca and 10 times Road March King, Super Blue. Super Blue. Tickets cost $16 and are available at all Gittins Healthcare Pharmacies, Wall Street, Grenville, and Gual, Springs Shopping Center, St. David's Pharmacy, Clear Vision Eye Care Center, on the Carinage, and Gittins Pharmacy, St. George's. It's the 18th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, October 26th, Thanksgiving weekend, Grenada Trade Center, 7:30 p.m. You can't afford to miss this one.
Ready for the demands of the new school term, that you've organized their books, you have everything, whatever paraphernalia that they need to ensure they can deal with the challenges of this new school term. And don't tell me that you're not going to buy the books because, and I have parents making the argument, and I understand it legitimately, that, and I've raised the concern that when it comes to the books, some parents, we are forced to buy books, and then you realize at the end of the school term, Our child or children did not even use it. But hello, would you prefer them not have it? The least you could do is resell it, is to sell it over. Then disenfranchise them when they're not able to be an active part of the education process because they do not have the tools that they need. It's important. And now that they're still at their home, that you allow them to start familiarizing themselves with some of the books that they have at home, especially if it's new subjects. Yeah, but let them get an appreciation of what is in it, the text, so at least they can advance themselves. We go back to the telephone lines. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Good morning, Mr. Cadore.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, we have to give kudos to Mr. John Rollo. You have to stay on this and get everybody to sign a letter to the government. But going to the point, you're talking about school situation we have. The government came and spoke about revamping the whole transportation system, and this part of it's supposed to have school buses for the children. We need to know where they reach, what phase are they in. Another part is that, second point I want to make, when they put that into play, let it be taken into consideration the seniors and elderly and give them a discount where they're able to have these buses to take them to important places, doctors, hospitals, maybe shopping, and therefore they can stop. That's for the whole nation. Everybody will get old. Everybody will not be able to drive after a while, and they'll have to use public services, right? So that is where this card will come in, and the police will have. The police will let the police know that they can pick these seniors and elderly at any place, especially when it's raining, and drop them off and pick them up. That's the only exception. And the buses for the children, so they won't ride on the bus with other people who have no respect and get on the bus with the children. That's not a good formula. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. 435-2041, that's the number on the inside. We're keeping our eyes on the clock because it's inching closer and closer to the 8 o'clock hour. Reminding you that at the top of the hour, we'll join the BBC for a bulletin of news. Good morning, caller. You're alive.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, the guard, the man say people taking off from the Woodita. This don't stop stone from flying. This thing is for cutting the line. If you're watching the end of the guard, you're going to see a little blade. There is a cut the line when it's too long. Okay.
Okay, sir. I don't want us to get into, I think we're missing the whole conversation. The reality of it is that there are persons who when they use these devices, they use it without any concern for the rest of the general public. The rail guard, there is a reason for it being there. Some people remove it. You would also see persons who would have a net that serves as a catchment area. And the challenge is really interesting. There are persons, when they were using these devices in the public arena, they have little and no consciousness or awareness of what is it that they're doing and the challenge that they pose to not just themselves, but to passerbys. I think that's the greater concern here. Yes, and I hope we will appreciate that as we go forward. 5 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. We probably have the opportunity to take just one final caller. I'm going through social media. Somebody's asking, good morning, can you please tell me where I can purchase? Well, what I can tell you, I'm not sure there's varied locations, but I know there is the Secretariat office that is on the Carnage, yes? As just before John on the Carnage, yes. I know there's a Secretariat office there that can facilitate that. Certainly, if you engage them, they would be able to advise you as to whether or not there is alternative point of sale. But certainly you can engage them there. 435-2041, that's the number on the inside. We have whatever your plans are for the day. 8 o'clock workers, I want to say thank you. Yes, all 8 o'clock workers, I want to say thank you for getting to work and getting there on time. I'm really, really happy that you were able to do that. Good morning to our listeners in Walker in St. Andrews. I understand that you have some challenges in your area. I will attend to it soonest for you as I am off the air. But certainly, again, we want to say thanks for being part of the classic family in the morning time. Today was a rather punctuated one, abbreviated in more ways than one. But we do say thanks for your understanding and for being part of the classic family. Later in the morning, the Ministry of Education, they'll be holding a press conference and would seek to bring us up to speed on the issue of return to school with a particular emphasis on the situation in Carriacou. That would be of particular concern, yes, but that press conference comes up at, should be around 10 this morning, but this morning either way, yes. Yesterday we had the installation of Miss Seville Francis, so she received her tours of appointment, her senatorial appointment, and we want to say congratulations to her, and we'll be looking forward certainly to her contribution to nation building. Yes? Among other things, we want to encourage folks, reminding you that life is short. There is the monkeypox conversation out there. But whatever it is you have to do whatever it takes that allows you to keep yourself in good health and strength. Yes, it is important that you do that. Keep yourself in good health and strength and continue to be the best version of yourself. A little bit of sleep, yes, not a little bit of sleep. Adequate rest is important. Yes, adequate rest is important. And do whatever it takes to, yes, keep yourself in the best mental framework. It is important. It's not just about your physical health, but also your mental health. Do not allow yourself to be frustrated by those who act as though they have raw nerves and twisted emotions. That's my advice for you today. Yes, they act as though they have raw nerves and twisted emotions. It's not your fault that they're not happy. You do what you need to do to be happy. And this is where we're going to leave the conversation for now. Indeed, it's a pleasure being here with you. Certainly, I'm going to take my departure from the studio in just a bit. But certainly, just to let you know, programming lineup, there is To The Point. That comes up at 10 o'clock. Yes, To The Point comes up at 10 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, that's with GT and the rest of and the team. That's on radio and on television. So until then, so long, everybody. Have a great one. JC loves you. Take care of yourself and continue being good to not just your immediate family, but to those you may meet on the street. Until then, so long, everybody.